We can all agree that in 2026 it hasn't been the most exciting year for Nintendo, but at the same time you just gotta think to yourself and remember that it's only February and Nintendo probably has this handled. But some things have definitely happened, some things have started to change, and that is the holiday game slot. Usually that always goes to Pokemon, but since Pokemon Gen 10 has actually been revealed for 2027, that slot in the end of the year is now open. So this could mean for a variety of different games. It could mean a brand new 3D Mario. It could be something like a Legend of Zelda remake, remaster, or something brand new. But when you slide into the brand new or the end of the year slot, it has to always be something big. A remaster of a big title actually does work in some instances. But usually when it comes to think about it, usually when you talk about Nintendo, they're going to use that slot for either Mario, Zelda, but usually Pokemon, and that's no longer the case. So this year, it's going to be something different, and I honestly think it's going to be the biggest one so far. So what's going on, everyone? How's your day going? Let's get straight into the video. If we quickly took a look at the start of the Nintendo Switch Life, the holiday game was in fact Super Mario Odyssey. That was a fantastic holiday game to really get you off your seat and start boogieing. Then the year after that, we had Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, another relatively massive game for the Nintendo Switch. Then moving over to 2019, you had Pokemon Sword and Shield, which was pretty big at the time. Moving over again in 2020, that was definitely a strange time for the Nintendo Switch, but we did get Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity and also the 3D All-Stars collection, which was honestly really cool. So it shows that we are getting some remasters or ports, and you can maybe think about the biggest port in your opinion that could happen, but this year it's definitely different than that. Moving over to 2021, you had Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl, which was arguably pretty cool to see, a remaster of the original games that were built in 2006. And then after that, we also had Mario Party Superstar, which released in October. The point being, we are always set to see some of these familiar franchises, and in 2025, that was essentially Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment and also Pokemon Legends Z8. So there's always that triangle, there's always that essentially triforce of Nintendo games, the ones that always end up at the end of the year. So that triforce includes Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon. Usually they don't use anything else to promote the big holiday. You can see this throughout Nintendo history. There's always Zelda, Mario, or Pokemon at the end of the year. So this means that we could definitely see a 3D Mario. If the leaks are right, if the leaks suggest that we are going to be seeing 3D Mario, this could very well happen. Because at the end of the day, right now I'm pretty high with leaks. Right now I'm pretty happy with what we've seen so far. Because if you looked at the Pokemon leaks, they were pretty much all spot on. They were really accurate on what we could actually see. That game actually looks really good. We could probably see voice acting on the development time being a 5-year cycle compared to the past years, which was about 3 years. So we can definitely see that. We can see islands. We can see being able to go underwater. So right now the leaks are looking good. The leak spot is looking great. So let's just say that the Nintendo Direct does happen in the second week of March. I am fully believing that we are going to be seeing a 3D Mario for the end of the year. That could definitely happen. That would be a massive game, considered a massive game for the Nintendo Switch 2, and will really drive sales before the cost really skyrockets. And they're honestly probably going to need it, because right now, with the Nintendo Switch 2, we're not sure if the price is actually going to go up. So let's just say that it goes up for the holiday season or before the holiday season. Then they're really going to need some system selling games to sell the system for things start to collapse or things aren't actually very great for them. So a 3D Mario would definitely tie into that spot. And I'm of the idea that we could definitely see more than one Triforce of games. We could see maybe a Legend of Zelda remaster, or actually probably not a maybe. It's more like an 80% chance that we're going to be seeing a remaster of a Legend of Zelda game or a port. I can very confidently say that because looking at the past history of Nintendo, we always see something for The Legend of Zelda. Could that be a remaster? Could that be a remake? Usually we always see something on the 5th anniversary, the 5th line of anniversaries. Like if you look at it, the 35th anniversary, we got Skyward Sword. The 30th anniversary, we got The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD on the Nintendo Wii U, and we also had The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors, the original game, that came out later. And then even if you look another 5 years, back in 2011, with the release of the Nintendo 3DS, you had a remaster of a beloved game, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and then you also saw The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So, which shows to me that we always see a Legend of Zelda game. Now this could just be because Nintendo released it, but let's just go on with the idea that every 5 years for the anniversary, Nintendo releases the game. This could definitely slide into that spot for the end of the year game. But I think it honestly could be maybe both. A 3D Mario definitely would make sense, because look at it. It's the movie. You get people to watch your movie. It's the perfect marketing strategy. You get people to watch the movie. They watch the movie, and then they're like, hey, you know what? I have a Nintendo Switch too. I want to play a game. This game looks really good. So then you put 2 and 2 together, and boom, you would have something like that. So I think if they are going to be doing a Mario game this year, it's probably going to be a big Mario game that is like using space or whatever the movie is about. So right now the Mario Galaxy movie is about galaxy and space. Maybe the next 3D Mario is in fact going to be galaxy and space. Probably not Galaxy 3 at this point in time. I mean, it definitely could be Galaxy 3 because of Galaxy, but it'd probably be called something different. Like it would use some aspects from Galaxy, but then moving over to the actual 3D Mario, so that could definitely happen. So the point being said, it's clear that we're probably going to be seeing a game. It's clear that we are going to be seeing a game for the end of the year. This could very well be 3D Mario once again. This could very well be The Legend of Zelda. And if you're going to ask me personally, I think we might actually see both. I think we're going to be seeing both for the end of the year, because usually the piece of the Triforce, there's always two games that are usually there. Last year, in 2025, it was Hyrule Warriors, which is the piece of the Triforce. And then we also had Pokémon, which was also there. 2 pieces were essentially there. And then this year, we're not seeing that. We're not seeing the 2 pieces. So it's either going to have to be something really, really big, a massive game. 3D Mario makes sense because the prices are going to go up and things are going to go up. So you'd have to sell your console with this 3D Mario in mind. And then maybe you can slap in a Zelda remaster. Could this be that double pack that everyone wants to see? Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD, maybe even 4K if you will. Or could that be the actual Ocarina of Time remake or remaster that everyone wants to see? It's definitely a really interesting thing, so I honestly wonder what's going to be happening here. So anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is going to happen, or do you think it's not going to happen? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a fantastic day. Anyways, thank you so much. See you in the next one. Consider hit the like button. Maybe subscribing if you're new.